Hi, I'm Max Winitz. Thanks so much for joining us. Today we're sitting down with a woman who appears in many of our dens and living rooms on a daily basis. But a few years back, for several months, Latrice Curry wasn't sharing the stories of those in the Tennessee Valley. She was clinging to life at Erlanger Medical Center in Chattanooga. Had it not been for blood assurance donors, her story would have come to a tragic end. Take me back to August 25th, 2019. You're in your kitchen, you're getting ready to go to church. What happened next?
The next thing I know is that I'm there, getting ready actually to fix coffee, and the next thing I look up and I'm on the floor and the ceiling is spinning and there are lights up there, and I'm not sure. At this point, I go back and I think, I have no idea how long I was down there on the floor, or obviously because, like I said, I fainted, fell out, and came to, and the room was spinning. And somehow my phone, thankfully, that Sunday morning was right there with me. I don't remember the ride to the hospital after they started right out of my driveway and out of my subdivision. The next thing I know, they said that I had coded. So it was about 3 weeks later when I woke up and really started to kind of come to.
And the diagnosis was pulmonary embolism.
Correct.
Just how close were you to not making it?
Very close. That night, I remember they prepared my dad and my brothers, my family had come up from Nashville, and they had prepared them that, we've got to take her in to have the surgery. We don't know if she's going to make it through the surgery.
Yeah.
And so my brother said they were up in the hospital that night, and it was 3 or 4 o'clock when the doctor came in and flipped on the light. And my brother said he just kind of braced himself for, what the doctor was going to tell him. And the doctor said she made it through the first round. She made it through the first night. So from there, still had, I think it was a total of over a dozen surgeries. And it took a while for them to even be able to close me back up, if I can say it like that, basically because there were so many surgeries and it was so much damage inside.
How did blood, specifically blood donations, help save your life?
That very first day, I was just losing blood. They could not stop it. They were like, we constantly had to keep giving me blood infusions, constantly. Then, then after all of those surgeries that I had to continue having blood. I remember, I was be in the hospital room and they were like, got to do a transfusion. So it was just constantly for weeks of blood donations. Over 9 gallons is what, yes, what the nurses and doctors tell me that they estimate.
In light of all this, I know you have said you are a walking, talking miracle. How much of that credit do you give to blood donors?
So when I think about this, and I think about, I never thought I would be one of those people who said, I need a blood donation, but I am. And thank God that there were those donors out there who helped save my life.
What message do you have for folks who are hesitant? And there are plenty of folks who are hesitant about donating blood, whether it's a fear of needles or something else. But being the recipient of multiple transfusions, what would you say to somebody who, for whatever reason, doesn't want to roll up a sleeve and donate?
I said, you know what? Think about, it could be your family member, it could be someone you love. You never know who or when or where these emergencies are going to happen. And that's what's so important. And that's why, and I just want to say too, that's why last year I partnered with my church and Blood Assurance, and we held a blood drive here. And I was just blown away by the amount of people that we had to come out and participate in that particular blood drive. And some people were saying, I heard your story and I just decided to come out and give blood. And that's why, I continue from this day forward, from that day forward, I should say, being an advocate and making sure that we're raising awareness about the importance of being a blood donor, of giving blood, about what it means. Because somebody, somewhere, I have today to thank who I will never know, who helped save my life.
Right.
And just in the past, when I've given blood and thought that, like I said, it was no big deal, I never know where that blood went. It could have been someone who was in a similar situation that I was in. And I could have helped someone, not just something routine, but even potentially save a life. And when you think about that, and that's why I say we all have a gift. We can all make a difference in this world and in our communities by doing something as simple as giving blood.
Our thanks to Latrice. And like her, there are so many other hospital patients in need of a blood transfusion to survive. In fact, it's a procedure that takes place in this country every 2 seconds. So donate today. Give someone else an opportunity to experience that miracle. For Blood Assurance, I'm Max Winnitz.